guys, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And if this is your first time here, I want to thank you for checking out my channel. If you're a regular, welcome back. This is a movie channel, so everything I talk about here is movie related. I do reviews, top 10 lists, collection updates, and videos that I post every Wednesday where I give you some selections for Blu-rays and rentals to watch at home, as well as a few picks for those of you who want to head out and see a movie in the theater. So if this is the kind of content you're interested in, definitely hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll be notified when I upload my videos. And before I get going with my video today, I just wanted to answer a question that I've gotten a few times during the week. I did not upload a Wednesday Picks of the Week this past week, and people have asked me if I'm doing away with the Weekend Watch segment. Absolutely not. I am absolutely keeping the weekly picks that I post every Wednesday because I really enjoy doing it, and you guys seem to like it. So, yeah, definitely starting this Wednesday, you can expect to see them again. The only reason I didn't post one this past week is because I needed to get the Criterion stuff out because it's a time-sensitive thing with the sale going on. So I wanted to make sure that I got that out there and got the ball rolling with the Criterion stuff. And really, the only new release that came out this week is A Quiet Place, and I kind of figured that everybody who wanted to see it had already seen it or at least known about it. So I figured there was really not anything that we were missing this particular week. But the other thing that I decided is because I enjoy doing this Criterion content, even after this month is up and the Criterion sale is over, I am going to do a segment at least once a month on the Criterion collection where we get a few titles, take them apart, look at the extras, look at the special features, and that way I'll keep up with the Criterion content. You know, every month we'll have at least one segment. So I really enjoy doing it. I'm a big fan of the Criterion collection, and you guys seem to enjoy it, so I'm going to keep running with that one as well. So yes, look forward to the Wednesday picks, and we're going to stay with the Criterion. So I'm excited about how the channel's kind of evolving and changing and growing, so this is a good layer to add to it. So I'm not going to blabber on anymore because I've wasted enough of your time, but I really just wanted to address those two issues. What I have for you today is another Criterion update. I'm going to show you the titles that have come in the mail since my last video. I told you guys I had to order everything from Barnes & Noble online. If you didn't see my first video on that, I'll link it right above here. You can check it out, see what titles I've gotten so far. I only have about, I think, 7 titles, and then after that, I'm just going to do the reviews that I promised you guys last video. I have about 5 films that I'm going to do reviews on, give you guys suggestions if I think they're worth the pickup. So before this gets any longer than it needs to be, I'm just going to get right into it. And these are going to be quick. The first one, I believe I'm saying it right, Mashima, A Life in 4 Chapters. This is a beautiful edition. It is one of the nicest looking editions I've seen in a long time. And this is the inside. It comes in a nice slip box. This is the inside artwork. Then this is what the inside of the film looks like. It also comes with a beautiful book of essays and pictures about the film. I mean, it's just a beautiful edition. They really put a lot of time and effort and care into this edition. And this is the back of the front and the back of the book. I mean, it's beautiful. So I was pleasantly surprised when this one arrived. I was really happy with what a nice job they did on it. So I just wanted to take that one apart because that's a little special. And this next one is my very first Fellini film. I've never owned a Fellini film. It's called Amarcord. I don't know much about it. It was suggested to me by several viewers, and this also comes in a really nice slip box. And I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. I'll show you the front and the back, how that looks. Really nice artwork. And they have a nice winter scene inside. Hopefully you can see that. And again, this one also comes with a really nice, like a 63 page book of essays about the film. So I'm really looking forward to that. And as well, it looks like it has a ton of special features. So hopefully, you know, once I watch these, I'm going to get back to you guys with my more in-depth thoughts and a more in-depth review. But I just really wanted to take those apart because I thought they really were 2 very beautiful editions. This next one was also a viewer suggestion, Richard Linklater's Slacker. I don't know much about it, but it sounded really good, so I figured I would pick it up. Can't go wrong with Richard Linklater. And this one I've looked at for a long time and I just never picked it up. My Own Private Idaho. It's a film by Gus Van Sant. It stars very young Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix. And they are street hustlers. So this should be pretty interesting. And again, as soon as I watch this, I will get back to you with more in-depth thoughts. This is another one that was suggested to me. It is Akira Kurosawa's Throne of Blood, and it is his adaptation of Macbeth. So I am really looking forward to seeing this one. I've heard nothing but great things. I'm a huge fan, as you guys probably know, of Akira Kurosawa, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what he did with his adaptation of Macbeth. So as soon as I watch this, I'm going to let you guys know. And these next two I have seen, but I haven't seen them in quite some time, so I'm really looking forward to revisiting them. They're both by Charlie Chaplin. The first one is City Lights. And the second one is The Gold Rush. So these are two Charlie Chaplin films that I've always enjoyed. He always makes me laugh, so I'm really looking forward to revisiting these and seeing what Criterion has done, because I'm sure the transfers are amazing. And the last one that came, this is another one that I have seen, but I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm really excited to see what Criterion has done as far as the transfer, because it is a new restored high-definition digital transfer, so it probably looks and sounds great. It is The Paths of Glory, starring Kirk Douglas. So that is my last title that came in the mail just this week. So you guys are totally up to date on that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a minute and I'm just going to grab the titles that I'm going to review, and I will be right back with those. Okay guys, I'm back and I have my pile. And before this gets any longer than it needs to be, let's just get right into it. My first film is one by Guillermo del Toro, and I had a ton of questions on this one, Kronos. And I watched this yesterday. It was my first time watching it, and I can say I was very, very happy with it. It looks great. It sounds great. They did a high definition digital transfer, but it was only from 1993. So it probably didn't require as much work, obviously, as something coming from like the 1940s or 1950s. But this looks great and it sounds great. And this is a story really about immortality and the quest for immortality. We have our main character, Jesus, who is an antiques dealer, and he acquires this archangel statue, and in it he finds this device. This one, and they just refer to it as a device. And I don't want to get too much into what it does or how it functions, because that'll just give away the story, but I can tell you that what it does for him is it starts to make him appear more youthful, feel more youthful, and he really becomes obsessed with it. The film also touches on a little bit of a vampire aspect, but it doesn't ever fully commit to the whole vampire story. It alludes to it, it touches on it, it kind of skims it, but it doesn't really ever fully delve into that. We could see that that's where it's going, but you don't really ever totally get there, because our main character is very reluctant to fully commit to that. So that's an interesting part of the story. And what we have on the other side is we have an American who knows of the existence of the device, and he is searching for it. So when he finds out that Jesus has it, now we have our conflict. But basically the story, it's a very easy to follow story, very linear, and it just kind of follows the same path. It's a very easy story to understand. It's a very easy story to watch. It's very enjoyable. I had no problem with it. Some of it is in English, some of it is subtitled. So if you're a person who's a little apprehensive about subtitled movies, you're going to have no problems with this, and it's a great way to start if you haven't committed to doing subtitled movies. And this, like I said, and the parts that are subtitled are not dialogue heavy, so they're super easy to follow, and you're going to have no problem with it. And as far as this, the extras on this one, my favorite one is that there is a tour of Guillermo del Toro's home office, and he goes over all his collections, which I can't wait to go back and check that out, because I'm sure that's going to be fascinating. It also comes with a really nice booklet, which I always love to get. It's nice when you get these booklets. And what they have is a lot of notes from Guillermo del Toro. He even has notes on the characters, like how tall they are, what their zodiac signs are, their likes, their dislikes. So it's a pretty cool book. It has a lot of nice essays about the movie, about his process. So I would say if you're thinking about picking up Kronos, if you like the whole dark theme, the whole like kind of vampire-ish theme, It's a really good one. It's a solid story. It's a solid addition, and I would say yes, go for it. Get Kronos. And if you're gonna pick up Kronos, two other ones that I would suggest would be Spine, appropriately numbered 666. His other one, Guillermo del Toro's other one, The Devil's Backbone, which deals with a young boy sent to an orphanage, and it is what I would call the ultimate ghost story. It's a great one, Devil's Backbone, and it's another solid transfer. It looks great and sounds great. And of course, this is one that I consider to be his masterpiece. It is Spine number 838, Pan's Labyrinth. It is an amazing, beautiful film. Again, another dark fairy tale. So good. I can't say enough good things about Pan's Labyrinth. It's been a few years since I've seen it, so I really want to sit down and revisit it. But yeah, this is solid all the way around. So any of those three would be great to pick up. And this is one that I spoke about last time too. This is Spine number 533, a film by Terry Zwigoff, and it is called Crumb. And this is a documentary about the American artist Robert Crumb. And this is probably one of the most interesting and amazing documentaries I have seen in a long time. Robert Crumb is probably best known for his drawing Keep On Truckin', which was really popular in the 70s. It was on t-shirts and bumper stickers and mud flaps. I mean, I was around in the 70s, the horse and buggy time, but I was around in the 70s to see all that. I think I had a Keep On Truckin' t-shirt. Anyway, his art is amazing, and he's a very interesting character. He's a little on the abrasive side, but he makes no apologies. At one point, a kid in a comic book store actually asked him for his autograph, and he just says, no, I don't believe in autographs, and he doesn't give it to him. No apologies, no explanations. So I felt like this was a really honest, genuine, authentic look at Robert Crumb and his life. And we also get to meet people in his life such as his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriends, some people in the pornography industry that he's friends with, and we also meet members of his family. His sisters did not want to be in the documentary, or two of his sisters. I think there was a third that was in it, but and his two brothers are in it, and he and his brothers are all, by their own right, amazing artists. He's the best by far, I thought, but they're all amazing artists in their own right, and his son looks like he's going to be a fantastic artist. But Crumb is an amazing look at this guy's life. He even talks about how he spent a lot of time in the Haight-Ashbury area of San Francisco, and he got really heavy into LSD and marijuana for a while, and he shows us how it affected his art, and how he really didn't know what he was doing. He was just taking LSD and drawing, and some pretty wild things came out. I mean, he even drew some pornographic comic books and all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, if you're into documentaries, Crumb is one of the best I've seen in a long time. And one of the things I'm looking forward to in this one that I didn't watch is that there is 50 minutes of extra unused footage that I'm really looking forward to going back and seeing. Now, the one thing I will tell you about this one, the transfer is really nothing to write home about. It's not horrible, but it's kind of grainy. It's from 1995, and it says they did a high-definition digital transfer, but I didn't see anything crazy. It didn't blow me away as far as picture quality, but I didn't care because the story was so good. And this one actually comes with some pretty cool extras. It comes with a little comic book type essay book that, and actually he writes in here that the whole family is crazy. He writes the whole family is crazy, Crumb, because they all suffer from some sort of mental illness. And again, they make no apologies about it. They're very candid and very open about it. There's nothing disingenuous about this documentary at all. And the other thing that I was thought was really cool is that they included this. This was in the movie. It's called Famous Artist Talent Test. And they actually, as young boys, sent away, he and his brother sent away for this. And this is the one that they showed in the movie. So I thought that was really cool that they included it. And if you look inside, you can see some of their submissions. So it's pretty cool. It's really a nice addition, and Criterion did a really good job with packaging this and all the things they add to it. But yeah, definitely check out Crumb. This is a no-brainer. It is a safe blind buy. And if you like the style of Terry Zwigoff, I would also suggest picking up Ghost World, which is another film that he did, and this is a fictional film, and it stars Scarlett Johansson and Steve Buscemi, and we follow two girls, who are just right after their high school graduation, so it's the months right after their high school graduation, that whole turbulent time when you're trying to figure out who you are, what you are, where you want to be. And one character in particular, Enid, she's just miserable. She can't figure out what she wants to do. She doesn't connect with anyone, but she's a gifted artist, but she's in summer school because she failed art. So you can see how much effort she puts into life. She is the one who befriends Steve Buscemi's character. He plays obviously a much older character than these girls, and he's into all these vintage records, and she connects with him over that and some other things that I'm not going to get into because it'll kind of ruin the story. But Ghost World is a really, really good one, and it's funny. It's so funny. Kind of like a dark comedy, but it's based on a graphic novel, and they include a little mini copy of a comic book in here. So, and they have an essay book as well. But yeah, it's Ghost World. It's a really good watch, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So check that one out. And this is a film by Ingmar Bergman. It is Spine number 321, The Virgin Spring. Now, just to let you guys know, Criterion did recently announce within the last few days that in September they are going to be releasing a box set of 39 Ingmar Bergman films. So if you're thinking about buying that, I know it's going to be a little on the expensive side, but if you're going to buy that, I wouldn't worry about buying the individual. But if you're not going to buy the box set, this one's definitely one you're going to want to look at. This was from 1960. It got a 2K digital restoration. Now, it's in a 1.37 aspect ratio, which means you're going to get those black bars on the sides. That doesn't bother me. You kind of don't see it after a few minutes, but just so you know, that's what you're going to see. And I can tell you that with these restorations, the black and white films just pop. This looks amazing. And this film, like I told you in the last video, Wes Craven's Last House on the Left is a very, very loose adaptation of this film. But this comes from a Scandinavian ballad that has been passed down in many forms. And the story is that we have this virgin named Karen who was given the task of delivering candles to the church. On her way to the church, she is raped and murdered by a group of herdsmen. And her father then seeks revenge. So we have our whole rape revenge story, which has become so popular in films today. And it kind of started with this one. And the interesting thing is, in the essay book that's included in this, is they tell us that there is a part of Sweden where they believe the virgin's body was found and then a spring formed, and they believe that to this day, they believe that the spring has healing powers. So they go to it, they drink from it, they pray to it, they give thanks to it. So there's a whole lot of history involved in this story, and it's really well done. It kind of has some Akira Kurosawa feel to it because you have a lot of running through the woods, which he is so famous for. He does that in so many of his films, but this kind of touches on that. It has that feel to it. It's a great story, and it's really well done. The subtitles are very easy to follow. It's not real dialogue heavy, and the picture looks great. It sounds great, and it's got a ton of extras, and especially the essay book has so much history in it. So definitely, I would say, yeah, check out Virgin Spring. And then we have Spine 591. This was actually a viewer request. 12 Angry Men, which takes place in 1957. The whole film, it's 96 minutes, so it's a quick one. The whole film takes place in one room with 12 jurors, and it is 12 men who are burdened with the task of deciding the fate of a Puerto Rican gentleman accused of murdering his father. We have 11 men saying right off the bat, no doubt he's guilty, and we have the one dissenting vote from Henry Fonda saying he is not guilty. And the film is basically Henry Fonda trying to convince the other men to take a look at the evidence. So it has a very claustrophobic feel because it's in one room. They tell you how hot it is. It's almost like you can feel the heat. It is such a hot summer day, and for some reason the fans in the room aren't working. And it's just you get the whole vibe, the whole claustrophobic vibe as to how these guys are probably feeling. Like they just want to get the heck out of this room. But they're arguing, and one by one they're kind of changing their mind or maybe seeing the evidence from a different light. But if you're into this kind of thing and into the whole jury system and how people thought and acted, and even the things that came out of their mouths in 1957, and we hope that it's not going on today, you're really going to enjoy this film. But really, what you see is what you get. It's that one room and these 12 guys, and it's really about the dialogue and the back and forth that goes on between these men. And it's a really, really interesting watch. So if you're into that kind of thing, I would definitely say check out 12 Angry Men. It is considered a classic, and I could give you a million reasons why. It also comes with a nice booklet. Like the others, it comes with a nice essay booklet, and it tells you about each character. So there's a lot of information in the book. And I would definitely say this is another one, like I said, if you're into the whole jury thing without the courtroom drama, it's definitely a safe pickup. 12 Angry Men. And my last one is an Akira Kurosawa film. It is Spine number 138, and it is Rashomon. And basically this one is 4 people telling 4 different versions of a rape and a murder. A wife is allegedly raped and her husband is murdered. And actually, even at one point, the man who is deceased is speaking through an oracle. So he's telling his story through an oracle. This is a pretty amazing film. And if you want to get a taste of what Akira Kurosawa is all about, this one was done in 1950. It's only 88 minutes long, so it's a quick watch. And again, it's an easy watch. The subtitles are not difficult to follow. So if you're on the fence about committing to the 3.5 hours of Seven Samurai, which he did in 1954, this is a great place to start to get acquainted with Akira Kurosawa and how he works. And one of the things that I love about him is just his use of just his cinematography and the way he uses natural light. There's this one scene in this movie which stands out the most to me. The woman is sitting in the forest. She has her white horse behind her, and just the way the sun is coming through the trees and the way they shoot that one shot, it is so beautiful. I can't say enough about this movie, how good it is, and it's such a great introduction to Akira Kurosawa's work. So if you're curious about it, it's definitely a great pickup. It has a nice digital restoration. It looks great. It sounds great. It has lots of extra. It even has a 68-minute documentary featuring the whole cast and crew. It's got all kinds of extra features in it. It comes with a huge book. It's like 60-something pages. It has production notes. It has an interview with Akira Kurosawa about his process. I mean, it has so many good things in the book. The book alone is worth it. But yeah, I would definitely say that Rashomon is a really good way to get acquainted with his work. So if you're on the fence about it, this is a good place to start. So definitely do your homework and check out Rashomon. Okay, so those are the films that I'm reviewing today, and hopefully I gave you guys a little more information that'll be helpful, and I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing it for you. And next Criterion update, I'm going to grab a few more. So if there's anything in particular you want, leave it in the comments below, and I will get to it. But I want to thank you guys as always for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, like, whatever, share, whatever you do is great. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be back again real soon. But for today, that's a wrap.